All right, we told you if inflation came in line, we'd see all-time highs, and that's what we got. That's exactly what we got. So we're at all-time highs. S&P 500. We got a lot of data to get to: inflation, interest rates, utilities, copper, meme stocks. Explaining the short squeezes. We're gonna get through all that. So stay tuned. Let's go. All right, so first and foremost, look, the S&P ranged, right? Stock market ranging for a while, and we've been moving higher. So the narrative, the whole stagflation after today, the whole stagflation narrative is pretty much gone. Not stagflation. I've been telling you, hey, possible stagflation in supply chains, but I don't think it was actually something that could continue. So now inflation ticks lower, S&P goes up, right? Growth is cooling off, which is exactly what the market wanted to see. So we're pretty bullish here. Let's go ahead and jump over. If you're on TikTok, jump over to the YouTube stream to see the actual charts. I'm going to throw up some inflation charts and kind of throw up the narratives that we're seeing playing out in the market. We are going to do technical analysis also. So you'll be able to see that because the phone is on the charts. Okay, so disinflation, right? And basically this morning we got core. Look at core is still disinflating. Yes, headline's a little sticky, but core is still disinflating, right? So we were, and this is just like the overall trend. If we go back to the spike in 2022, the highest spike, we've been coming down. We've been in disinflation. It just depends what you point out. So all that crap out there about reflation, it's not happening. That we're not reflation. I'm sorry, reflation could be a thing, but all that crap about stagflation and inflation is reaccelerating, just not happening. What up, TikTok? It's just not happening. It's a false narrative. It is not. It's sticky. Inflation is sticky, but there's no sign of reacceleration. Oil is tame. Spending is actually slowing a little bit, right? It's cooling off. The supply chains are healthy. Shelter has a lag. It's all auto insurance. It's all medical insurance, which is Fed don't care, doesn't care about that. It'll collapse on its own because there will be competition that comes in and undercuts prices, right? So inflation is coming down. Now, if we go a little deeper here, let's just look at the previous month. Headline, if you include energy, went from 3.5 last month to 3.4. So we cooled off. We cooled off for a month. So maybe we are sticky, but core is falling even quicker. And core has been falling. That's what the Fed's looking at. The Fed is focused on core inflation. So what do we get after we have this inflation print? Obviously, we gapped up. I told you guys we're gonna gap up if we come in line at 3.4. Okay, we gapped up. We went higher. Okay, we went higher, all-time highs. That's exactly what we ended up seeing. Now, um, what did that do? Why, and what are our big signals? We saw rates come down, right? I'm going to turn over to the 10-year rates, 10-year bond rates, right? This is the real signal you got to look at, collapsing. We said, hey, we could get a drop in rates, okay, 10-year bond rates, and we did get that fall, right? It's not collapsing yet. I mean, we still have more room to go, but retail sales were weaker than expected. And they're still okay on a year-over-year basis, but retail sales are weaker, right? And that means weaker growth. Yields follow growth. If growth is falling, bond yields fall. You need to keep this in mind. Yields are what's running the market at the moment. And the market can continue higher at 4% yields, right? So it's very sensitive to these yields. This is the rate of interest or borrowing, right? Borrowing rates affects top line, bottom line growth, actually bottom line growth. And we're at 4.3. So rates are making a new low. Now we might have some support here. It really depends on the data that we see going forward. But interest rates fell. Okay. Dollar, same thing, right? Because they follow each other. Dollar also fell. And what I've been saying is, hey, it looks like the dollar is going to be falling and creating a tailwind. And the dollar just got started rolling over, and we're already at all-time highs. Okay. It isn't one or two signals, it's many signals, but everything is aligning for a melt up to continue. The melt up to continue. We're going to go over sort of the names and the themes that are going to push that melt up higher. But for now, rates are inflation's tame, oil's tame. Okay, oil's 78, oil's tame, inflation, and we're heading into the summer. If this thing doesn't pop, don't expect inflation to really come back. It's going to just drop. It's going to fall pretty quickly with shelter coming down, rates down, dollar down, market up, right? S&P up. Now we're starting to get bonds bid up. So this is like, and we still have Nvidia, right? We still got Nvidia earnings, but come on, Nvidia is going to crush it, and that's what we're going to move on to next after we go through. Me hit your comments quick, and then we'll come back. What up? Shoe polisher, how's it going? So, yeah, so that's inflation. Inflation is down. We're not re-accelerating, right? We're sticky, but the fear of stagflation is off the table right now. The fear of the Fed hiking, look at that's even more bull crap. The Fed is not going to hike. They're not even close to hiking. You're being fed a bunch of garbage online that the Fed is ready to hike rates off of what? Off of what? That is not the case. If anything, they just stay higher for longer. I still think they cut, sometime in the second half of the year because of the election, right? There's a lot of reasons why the Fed will cut. But moving on, rates are lower, interest rates are lower. The Fed's probably going to hold where they're at. This is driving markets higher. So the themes here are really still AI, but that encompasses a whole lot of other industries because artificial intelligence is pretty much the end product, right? But to get to that end product, you have all the distribution, you have the production, you have all that. So what we're seeing is CapEx is exploding. You won't be able to see this on TikTok. Jump over to YouTube if you want to see the charts that I'm putting up. So capex for for data centers is absolutely exploding, and it will continue to explode because the whole world is going after AI, right? Automation, right? Because we all know that basically global birth rates are falling, right? Except for Nigeria and India, birth rates are falling. Less less people, less growth. The tenets for GDP growth are population growth, debt growth, which everybody's growing their debts, which is why, interest rates are up. Debt growth, population growth, and productivity growth. So these data centers are basically putting in the bottom line growth for AI, which is productivity. Now, to make it clear, you can do more with less. Okay. So the data center growth will continue. Now, that's causing what? What do we have here at the bottom? That's going to cause electricity price, not prices, but electricity revenues or utility revenues to explode because they have to provide the electricity, right? You need more copper to basically create the technology. So these data centers are going to take electricity and metal and copper. So you're having a bull market in those. You also have memes and crypto. We'll get to that, but I want to show you that the automation of the economy is coming because birth rates are falling. So you need more labor. It's either going to be robots or it's going to be AI or both. And we probably don't see that max out till 2030. But the capital expenditure companies, Google, Amazon, Microsoft, they're all spending, you know, their capex. So copper's going higher, and and hopefully the supply comes back for copper. We don't want commodity inflation, but utilities are coming up, and that'll rotate into the market. That'll rotate into other sectors. But for now, we're seeing that. And then here's some secular trends, right? This is basically the services, because right now we have hot services. Services are extremely expensive. Insurance that won't stay for long because that's what automation and technology does. It solves those issues, right? So the biggest jobs at risk right now are cashiers. We don't need them. We have AI to do that, right? We have robotics, you have automation. Pretty soon you're going to have blockchains also coming in there. That's why this narrative is accelerating. Secretaries, administrative assistants, that's what AI does, right? Office clerks, customer service representatives, um I don't even know what that is, assemblers, facilitators. We don't need all this because artificial intelligence, and you know what, the jobs are at risk. There'll be other jobs, but it's adding more GDP, right? It's cheaper to run an AI and do all these jobs. They're quicker, they run 24/7, they don't complain, they don't file lawsuits, XYZ, right? Bookkeepers, accounting, that's going to be blockchain. Executive secretaries, administrative, you get it, fast food cooks, right? Whatever it is, automation is here and it's only going to accelerate. That's why tech is the best trade in the market by far, bar none. NASDAQ has outperformed every other asset class except for crypto, right? And automation will continue. So hopefully you find the diamond in the rough because there's a lot of scams out there. But automation is here. Japan, Korea, South Korea, Germany. Look, Japan and Germany have some of the slowest population growth, right? And this is part of something I'm talking about in the newsletters and in the course, which is populations are falling in certain areas, but they still have a lot of GDP because of the automation. Now, what happens when you have that automation start to peak out all over the world and you have birth rates maybe come back? Who knows? We don't know. But debt growth, governments are printing money and they're putting it towards automation. That's what's going into the market. That's the flow of money that we're starting to see. Okay. Um, and then the banana zone. Look, just real quick before we hit the actual technicals, the banana zone is here. We're still at the banana zone. We're still ready to launch off, right? This is Bitcoin price at least going forward. We haven't even launched off. And I've been saying, hey, this summertime rally for crypto for the whole market, but crypto I think outperforms pretty much everything. And we're starting to see the memes come back, and we're going to go through exactly how that plays out. So first, let's go to the charts here. Yeah, let's go to the charts here. See, yeah, we'll stick with this. Okay, yeah, let's go to the charts. We'll stick with this. So first and foremost, look, the S&P is at all-time highs. I mean, there's not much else to say. There's no resistance, and our next big data point is Nvidia earnings. I think, what is this, May 22nd? I think it's May 22nd. So next Wednesday is Nvidia earnings, and then next you have a PCE, the Fed's preferred inflation gauge. We're gonna go much higher. Why? Not just S&P, but the market is here because PCE will come in even lower. PCE is going to show more progress. Nvidia is probably going to crush earnings. Even if they don't, it would be nice to get a pullback, right? Pray for that pullback to the all-time high, and then we go higher. So the market looks pretty good. So let's start with first. Let's start with. I think we have all those. If you have questions about the macro, let me know. GME up tomorrow or what? Yeah, we'll talk. We'll get to GME. They'll be listening Nasdaq soon. Okay, so we'll get to GME, but let's go ahead and start with utilities. Right, utilities are going higher, and it's kind of a boring chart, but there's a couple utilities in here. We're gonna go to in play. There's XLU is the ETF. If you want to look at the ETF. So it's going straight up. This is just data center revenues will be, profit margins are going higher because all the data centers need energy, right? They need electricity in whatever form it is, and they basically convert electricity and they convert all the potential energy into building, distributing software, running all these data centers, right? That's what's going on here. So utilities are going higher. What are a couple names? I was looking at a couple names. This one's hot right now, and I'm not an expert on utilities, but this is probably the hottest utility stock right now. CEG is the ticker, Constellation Energy Corporation. Now I'm not trading this, but just a heads up, right? It's probably going to stay on this bullish trend. What are the technicals? Let's throw in the 50-day moving average. I mean, the technicals are I think it's pretty clear. This thing is in there's no, when you have no resistance, you have no resistance. You should be marching higher. I don't really like these until you get a pullback, but we just have the pullback. So there's not much else to look at unless we zone in a little closer and see, okay, what's going on here? Well, we had a wedge break into the moving averages. So, you're holding that 220, maybe 220 here is what you want to see, a retest of 220. That's the only thing I could see here on CEG, retest of 220. I mean, possibly comes down to 214, 215. That would be nice, right? But again, I'm not familiar with these kind of names. So CEG, put it on your watch list. Now copper, let's go to copper. Copper is going straight up. Copper is exploding because the flow of money is going into copper. Why? Because distribution for data centers, for AI spend is going to go to copper, right? Not go to copper, but you have to buy copper. There's demand for copper. There's not enough supply. The only thing about copper is when the supply starts to exceed, when copper prices go up, companies tend to create more copper at a faster pace, and the price kind of gets stuck. I don't think we're there yet. So it's not a secular move. It is more of a secular move. And maybe copper is secularly higher, meaning long term it continues to go higher. There's less supply than there is demand. But copper looks pretty good. Now, what are some stocks to look at here? CPER. I'm not familiar with this either. Okay, I don't really invest. I'm all in crypto. You guys know this. I'm all in crypto. I'd rather own crypto because a lot of reasons, but just wanted to throw some stuff out there. So United States Copper Index. This is an ETF. If you want to keep it safe, probably goes higher. It's at $30, right? I'm not going to really do technicals, just CPER. That's it. This is Newmont Corporation. Now I know this one might be pretty good. This looks like a better opportunity to me. Now I'm not familiar again with Newmont, but the technicals it looks like there's an opportunity here. You have a previous resistance around, what are we at, 40, 42? Let's just call it 40 to 42 previous resistance, showing a lot of strength out of there. You're getting was this daily? Yeah. You're getting a golden cross here. 50-day is crossing above is this the 100? It's a golden cross. We're getting a golden cross there. So the momentum is here, maybe some more consolidation, and you want to see it hold that 42 level. but it's definitely there. This is Newmont Corporation, copper miner. I mean, they probably do other stuff, and it's breaking out of this downtrend. So let's take a look at the let's zone back, or let's come back a little bit and see where the RSI is at. Yeah, RSI is climbing, buying pressure is picking up, and it is definitely starting to test this downtrend. I think we've broken the downtrend. So it's out of the downtrend. Buying pressure is picking up. Looks really good. Am I going to buy it? No, not my cup of tea. But Newmont is there. Okay. We got Freeport McNamara, another one. Now this one's a little more overbought. I would wait for a pullback because I mean that's a nice wedge there. It's a little more overbought, but did break out of a wedge. Um, did break out of a wedge. There you go. So that's copper. I mean, you got Newmont, you got I mean, you go back, you'll see what I put up there. I can't remember them. Newmont, NEMFCX, and then who's this? Southern Copper Corporation. You got this one too. RSI, little overdone. You want to see pullback, another kind of sloppy wedge breakout. I mean, this is a big breakout, right? Go to that daily chart, and this thing is trending higher. I think it's at all-time highs. Yeah. So those are your copper stocks there. Now, is there other ones? Probably. That's just what I found so far. Okay. And I'm not really, an advocate of buying these stocks or owning them, but they might be some good trades if you're interested. Question over here, Javon. ETH bouncing. Yes, we're gonna get to Ethereum. We're gonna get to crypto because we're almost there, right? Banana zone. We're blowing up. Now let's go to. Did we go over the utilities? Yeah, CG was the only one. Copper stocks, utilities. Now let's take a look at these memes. Okay, we got a story for this. AMC getting crushed, but looks a lot like it looks a lot like it did back in the day. So you got AMC, you got GameStop, and I know everybody's going crazy. Let's get that AMC, let's get that GameStop. We're back. Little different conditions, okay? GameStop looks a little better because it's pulling into this 27 support. There is no fundamentals for this. This is purely short squeeze, purely meme trading like Dogecoin, like Shiba Coin. Nothing to really get excited about, not to own, in my view. If you disagree, you disagree, but I don't think so. I'm using the 50 and the 100 on the daily. If I go to the weekly chart, your resonance, if I go to the weekly chart, I'm using a totally different moving average. But let me see. I feel the RSI divergence on the daily is working very well. Yeah, RSI daily we're in a bull market. So yeah, daily is looking pretty good. Look at FCX, been in its yeah, I looked at SCX, Justin Wed Zim. Okay, I'll get to those. Loading up on Zim. Nice. AMC. So a lot of people were wondering, well, what is this? What's going on with these stocks? Basically, I don't know if anybody wants to hear the story of how these work. Maybe we'll come back to it. You guys want to see the story, but basically what you got here is I want to point this one out. SPWR, okay? Sun Power Corporation. Did I mention the ISM? ISM? No, not yet. I didn't mention the ISM yet. The ISM is just winding up. I mean, I think it starts to kick in this summer because we're seeing global manufacturing and delivery volumes of goods and well, not services, but goods push. Volumes are picking up globally, so the ISM will get up. It'll get up there, especially with Joe Biden has to print more money. He has no choice, especially if anything starts to slow. So this Sun Power, okay. Now the reason why GME last year squeezed so high, you had a gamma squeeze. That gamma squeeze was because there was more short interest in the stock than there was actually stock available on the float. And what that means is there's more people short than basically buying. So all you had to do is come in and buy more. Now, you had to buy more and they would get squeezed. It was kind of a sloppy way of tracking things. But this one, Sun Power Corporation has a 90, this is ridiculous, 95% short interest. 95. This is the only one I'd be interested in. And I would just, obviously this is a YOLO. Don't try to get big in this. There's, it's very risky, by the way, extremely risky. But this one could squeeze ridiculous, not because it has a good company, not because it has good fundamentals, because Wall Street Bets or whoever it is might target this at some point. You're going to see the relative volume jump, right? Volume, the average volume should probably jump. Look up RVol. You should be able to find it somewhere. And what happens is they start basically whoever short this stock, 95%, right? You have all these people short this stock, 95% short interest. So there's so much of the stock out there where short sellers go, they borrow the shares, right, from the bank or the exchange. They basically borrow the shares and then they sell the shares. So what they're trying to do is for example, they sell at 100 and they want to buy it back at 50. So they make the difference between 100 and 50. They're making that commission between 150. Benefits them. They make money. They sell at 100. They buy back at 50. It helps the bank out or whoever owns the shares that they're getting them from because they own the shares at a cheaper price, right? Now they own the shares even cheaper, the same amount. So when you're short, what these guys in Wall Street Bets do, or what is it, Raging Kitty, whatever his name is, what they do, they come in and they start buying call options, not shares, but they buy calls. When you buy a lot of calls, what happens is you have the right to own 100 shares, right? Now, if you just bought these 100 shares, it's going to cost you X amount. But if you buy a call option, it's going to be a tenth of it's going to be way cheaper. So they go buy a bunch of, contracts here, bunch of call option contracts. And when they buy those call options, now whoever owns the shares has to make sure they have enough shares to cover these contracts. So they have to go in and buy more shares, right, from the exchange. So whoever's lending out the shares is now, they're lending them out to short sellers. And now what they're doing is they're buying back their shares, pushing the price up. And these are such tiny market caps. The reason I point this one out, it's only 500 million. It might have dropped today. It's a tiny, tiny market cap and it has 95% short interest. Like, this is insane, right? 95%. It just takes a small amount of call options to really come in and squeeze those shorts. And what they're going to have to do is, as the price goes up, they lose money as the price goes up. And then they have to cover at some point and say, okay, I'm done taking losses. The way they cover is they buy back the stock. When they buy back the stock, you get more buying because they're buying it. And you see the relative volume spiking. So you're getting more meme traders, right? Wall Street Bets. And these are online communities, mostly on Reddit. You get them step in and they buy more, right? They just keep buying. So you squeeze the stock higher because the short sellers have to cover. And if 95% of the flow is short, man, that's going to be a big short squeeze, right? I'm not going to guess anything, but this is the only one I have on my radar. AMC doesn't have a whole lot. GME, they're meme trades. And I think they're just signals that, hey, this market has a lot of liquidity. Remember the six trillion of cash on the sideline. That's why we go higher. A lot of cash on the sideline. Right now that the S&P is at all-time highs and we're seeing that the stagflation is not here, you're going to see more casinos come in, right? Crypto casino, as in a lot of buying, people just having fun, whatever it is. Okay, I'll get to your comments before we hit the crypto. So that's the meme trade. I'm looking at SPWR. Okay, and I want to see what I want to see is this gap fill. I think there's a gap here, and I want to see the support of the gap. That'll give me the signal. So if we fill this gap opened at what? 275. Okay. If we get to 275 and we support, I mean, I might throw in a little, some call options. I might throw in some calls, right? Very risky. Now you're going to pay way too much. It's not a good trade at all. You're just betting. You're basically hoping that, you're going to lose your money more than likely. But if you don't, this thing might really pop. And, I'm not advocating anybody trade this. It's just usually how it works. You want to see that gap fill and then it bounces. You have the support. You see the relative volume spike. Boom, goes much higher. You had a good day. Good job, Josh. All right. So RSI divergence. What is brown vertical lines? What are the brown vertical lines? What are those big brown vertical lines? Oh, you're talking about the SPY. That's just NVIDIA earnings. I'm just marking where it is on the chart. I think so. I think that's what we're looking at. NVIDIA earnings. Have you looked at FFII at all? No, FFII. No, I have not. I can go back to that. Also, look, AMD, Dell breaking out. Let me get to these comments before we get there. I'm going to put it on AMD really quick because AMD is probably has the technicals aren't amazing, but I'm telling you, AMD is looking very good, right? Very good. You had a ridiculous, 30% pullback. This is like 38% pullback. Okay. And I've been trading iron condors on SPY. So I was like, I've been consistent. I don't want to jump in, but head and shoulders, reverse head and shoulders, very bullish. Now you have your resistance here. This was previous support turned into resistance. So a break above this and a retest. I mean, you never want to grab AMD on a breakout unless you know what you're doing, but on a retest, right? Break and retest on a pullback. I mean, that's what I would do. I think the risk reward is a lot better, especially with the market all-time high, especially with, data center revenues. AMD earnings is what we're looking. I'm sorry, NVIDIA earnings is what you're looking for. Once NVIDIA has earnings, I mean, it's very likely AMD explodes. Absolutely. All right, Jervine, let me go back to Veronica real quick. Tomorrow we have initial jobless claims. Any trick you have to kind of know what it's going to look like after you finish, um, of course. Um, Initial jobless claims, what are they going to look like? I mean, they're slowly climbing. They're nothing crazy. We're not, jobless claims are not, people are going to start screaming, "Oh, recession, recession." No, it's not going to happen. There's way too many open jobs still. And whoever's getting fired is because those companies are trying to become more efficient. Therefore, they're using AI, they're using automation. It's not necessarily the economy is tanking. That's just not true. Uh, but it's good for the market. The market wants to see initial jobless claims continue to cool, but there's going to be an upper limit where it's like, okay, that's too much. Now we're at risk. But trust me, guess who's going to come to the rescue? Not daddy, Grandpa Biden, right? Your granddaddy, old granddaddy Biden's going to come in and say, nope, we need more stimulus, we need more jobs, we need more employment. So he'll step in no matter what. And the market already knows this, right? That's why we keep hitting all-time highs. And I keep telling you guys, no matter what, the Fed will keep printing and they'll find a way to inject liquidity into the financial system. And Biden will inject liquidity into the economy because it is an election year and they have to. They have no choice, right? So this is what we're looking at. But okay, so yeah, I'm not sure what the numbers will look like, Veronica, but I'm sure the market wants to see weaker jobless claims or flat, whatever, right? I don't even think jobless claims are that serious right now. They're still at a very low level. Higher initial claims means Fed will be closer to cutting 100%. Jervine, there you go, closer to cutting, 100% closer to cutting, and the market wants to see cuts. And I know everybody has that narrative out there. Cuts are bearish, not necessarily. Usually, cuts were bearish because the risk was collapsing growth. Today, the risk is overheating. So it's not the same narrative. You have to filter the macro. When you filter the macro, you see that historically rate cuts were coming when growth, not because inflation was there, because growth was already falling. Today, growth is picking up. It's very strong. And the cuts are actually to keep growth from falling. They're not the cuts are in the cuts are coming because of inflation is easing, not because growth is collapsing, right? It's because inflation is easing. Totally different scenario, meaning cuts are bullish. Cuts are bullish. And if people don't see, I mean, we can go over the history. I've done it before. Very bullish here. I see you out there holding BB and AMD. Yeah, AMD looks good. Glad you had a good day. So cuts are going to be very bullish as long as this environment continues. If we have sideways inflation, sticky inflation, I think inflation really falls off a cliff here, right? Maybe not a cliff. I'm being a little hyperbolic here, but I think inflation does trend lower. Cores coming down, PCs coming down, and we'll see how that plays out. What up, Bunky? You're Josh. Okay, this is Bunky. What up, Bunky? Okay, Bunky in the house, killing it. On squeeze trades, I usually go with the shares. Less, yeah, no, shares are definitely less risky. I mean, you can YOLO a call, um, if you want. It just depends on who you are, what you're doing there. The calls are expensive though; they're extremely expensive. I think when I did AMC in 2021, I did shares. I just bought a bunch of shares. Easier to exit too. The calls are ridiculous. Not a whole lot of liquidity there. Okay, first soft landing. This would be the very first soft landing. There's been soft landings before. I think it's just people don't know their history, and I'm not trying to talk down, but I am. No, I'm just kidding. There's been soft landings, but the financial media, they have a narrative. If people are long bonds, they're going to tell you no soft landing because they're trying to spin their narrative that pumps their bags. There has been soft landings in the past. They've been there. Just there's been more hard landings for sure. In this scenario, though, it's a little different because the Fed has different tools. The market is no longer, oil and old legacy manufacturing. The market is mostly tech, and tech can adapt very quickly. The stock market, at least. So this is not the same era as it was in the past. It's just not the same, right? So soft landing, hard landing. What up, Tigger Media? How am I feeling about Tesla? We'll get to Tesla. I'll get to Tesla. I have Tesla up there. Tesla, I just bought a call today. I'll just keep it real. Am I supposed to say that? I don't know, but I'm gonna keep it real. I bought a call today because market's at all-time highs. Tesla, it's hard to gauge Tesla right now. And we'll get to Tesla, but I wanted to show really quick. AMD looks really good. Okay. I mean, I wouldn't pass this up. I'm probably gonna sell some puts on it. Dell just broke out, more data center growth revenue, XYZ. And I got out of my last Tesla calls, right? So I did exit Tesla before from 140. I exited like 182, and then I got back in today. Um, and they're like October. I think it's October or January. I don't remember. All right. So yeah, Dell's breaking out. This could be a nice play. All-time highs. Looks really good. And then who else we got? Nvidia, of course, coming up. Nvidia's probably going to be a beast. I'm scared of Nvidia though. I'm scared. I want to see one more pullback for Nvidia. Of course, I always say that, get scared. I just don't want to trade it. I'm scared to trade Nvidia. I think I've lost in the past. If you own it, hey, congratulations. Maybe sell puts on it, but it's just so wild. I haven't watched the price action as much as I have with Tesla and AMD. So, but hey, Nvidia, you could see a pullback, next week, and then you get PCE. So this is also a possibility, and nobody knows, right? Nobody really knows. We're just doing probabilities here, but it's very possible we have a pullback during earnings, and then we hold the bullish trend, and then you have PCE come out, and it's gonna look good. Boom, breakout. Right? We'll see how that plays out. Very possible. Okta looks good. I like Okta. And then here's Tesla. I know somebody asked about Tesla. And if you are on the YouTube stream, I'm going to answer your questions a lot sooner because, if you guys can help me out, if you think I give you good content, go subscribe to the YouTube. Help me out there. I would appreciate it. If not, fine. Just stay watching. Ask questions. Okay. Have you looked at FFII? I don't even know what that is. I don't know what that is. So I have anchored VWAP here for Tesla. I'm looking at the anchored VWAP from the lows, right? These are from the lowest of lows on the daily chart. I know I'm kind of jumping around here, but on the weekly chart, I mean, it's hard to say where momentum is picking up for the RSI on the weekly chart, but Tesla is very tricky. Now, I got in today because we had that big move higher, right? Big blast off higher, and then we consolidated. We filled that 168 gap. So we filled the gap at 168. That's what I wanted to see. We bounced. That was good. Now I want to see a pullback and hold of support. And for me, the hold of support is anchored VWAP and sort of this consolidation, right? I wish it would have held above 175, but we'll see what happens. If we slip below 175 and hold them out, right? I'm out. But I want to see it hold 175. And markets at all-time highs. A lot of momentum here. And I have a contract way far. I'm not doing no weekly calls. These are 6 months out. I can add to it. I don't want to take, because the theta will destroy you for Tesla. It'll destroy you. So you have to catch the big momentum. You got to get the big momentum. Did you see Visa jumping? No, I didn't see Visa. I didn't see Visa jumping, but that's my thoughts on Tesla right now. When it comes to Tesla's business, I mean, I'm very bullish. It's only a matter of months before full self-driving kicks in China. I mean, Elon Musk has I think it's a FSD day, August 8th. So that's probably going to be a sell-off. I think we run up into the vent. Typically that happens. You run up into the vent, then it sells off. Hey, if you guys don't mind, like the video on YouTube, if you can help me out, I appreciate it. Don't be lazy. I hear it all the time. If you do listen, if you think I deliver valuable content, hit the like button, subscribe if you're not subscribed. If you think I suck, then fine, don't do it because I only want you to subscribe if you think it's valuable, right? All right. So, anyways, who is this? Visa. Visa. I'm not a fan of Visa. I mean, it looks okay. I mean, it's going to be in an uptrend. I mean, I like crypto better, right? Visa's a play on finance, on financial services, and I think crypto financial services have much more alpha. But hey, if it's a trade, it's a trade. I just think there's better trades out there. Robin Hood. This is who I'm bullish on. Look, if there's one stock, right? So we went over utilities, went over the copper stocks. Robin Hood is going to be exposed to the growing trading volumes, the GME. You think about GME, you think about AMC. Who's really making the money here? It's not. It's going to be Robin Hood. Okay, that's where all the retail traders are trading at, and Webull. But Robin Hood's revenues are going to grow, and the market already knows this. A lot of support here at 1650, 17. Okay, plus you have the crypto cycle coming. Robin Hood's going to rip. I mean, I don't know how far it rips. I haven't done too much technical analysis on it, but I mean, it's moving off the 50-day moving average. That was a lot of consolidation. We're probably headed, if we kind of zoom out here, we're in a bullish trend. So maybe that next stop would be, I'm going to say July. We get somewhere around 30 in July. It's a big move, but I think we can do it, especially with the crypto bull market. I think you see Hood get around 30. in June, July. We'll see. Maybe not, but that's just my guesstimate. Can I explain VWAP? What is it and what does it tell you? See Josh Beatty. All right, Josh, you have a lot of comments here. Consolidate them. Nvidia can still, people can always talk about their trades, but they're not recommendations. Yeah, 100%. Nvidia can shift the market like crazy, 100%. Yeah, we talked about that, right? Nvidia is the last earnings. I mean, earnings were pretty solid. Their in earnings growth is picking up, so that's why I'm bullish on the market. Earnings continue to pick up. I took 185s on Amazon's. Okay. Random question: How do I join the newsletter? Oh, Jervine, how do you join the newsletter? It should be in the YouTube. You should be able to go to the YouTube description. I'm pretty sure my newsletter is in there. I'm gonna release one sometime this week, and I've been pretty bullish. I mean, just check out the newsletter just so you have kind of the data there and the updates. But it should be you should be able to find my website and then put in your email. I'm pretty sure I put it in the description, the newsletter stuff, right? Can you explain VWAP? What is it and what it tells you? So VWAP, yeah, I can tell you what VWAP is. As a matter of fact, let's use an example. VWAP is volume weighted average. So it's taking the average price wherever you stick it. So let's say we want to stick it. This is anchored VWAP. Let's say we stick anchored VWAP. Actually, let's take this comment off. Let's say we stick anchored VWAP here. So we're looking at this date, at this last pullback. I always like to do the last pullback, right? So it's looking at this date and it's taking in consideration average price and volume, right? Not just average price, but average price weighted by volume. So wherever the biggest volume came in, for example, we'll throw in the volume here, wherever the most volume came in, it's going to skew the average towards that price where that volume is. I don't know if I'm explaining it correctly. I mean, you could look it up for sure, but it's basically giving you more of an average with price. I mean, I'm sorry, with volume. That's what you want. You want to know where the volume's at, because sometimes you'll get price moving up and there's no volume. It's not a real move. It's not a solid move. You want real volume, and that's why I use VWAP, anchored VWAP. And there's regular VWAP also intraday. I always have regular VWAP. That tells me a lot. Also, institutions intraday, whenever a stock is trading above VWAP, typically institutions are stepping in to buy that. And if it's getting rejected by VWAP, typically they're selling at VWAP, because the closer they get to VWAP, the more they earn commissions. That's a whole nother thing to explain. Who knows if that's even real anymore, but VWAP is still a pretty reliable indicator. I use it every day. Tesla self-driving is what the government is. Tesla self-driving lawsuits. Appreciate it, Veronica. Thank you. Always gets me definitely motivated when you guys show up. Tesla self-driving is what the government is the lawsuit. Okay, I'm not sure. Come on, Josh. Make it make sense, man. Come on. Tigger Media is a simple Google search, can explain it literally in the name, volume weighted average. Oh, he just wants okay, I see. Yeah, you can look it up. I mean, it's good for some viewers to listen to also. Payment for the order flow, 3 cents per contract. Hood gonna fly. I think Hood blows up. I bought Chainlink at 12 something. Hey, that's my most bullish stock. No, I'm just kidding. It's not a stock, but I'm very bullish on Chainlink. They're only doing more. Their revenues are about to start spiking as crypto goes up, because they connect all blockchains. It is basically what they do is it's like having a bunch of computers in the real world, but you have no internet connection. Well, they are the internet connection to all blockchains, all blockchain technology, including not just crypto, not just public, but private blockchains. And those are the biggest blockchains, which are JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, Swift, DTCC, Euroclear, all the biggest banks in Europe. In other countries, they're going to be needing a interface to connect their own blockchains. That is CCIP, right? And they need verification, real world assets. I think it's the biggest narrative nobody really understands. It seems simple, but they don't see the price move up, so they get pissed. And that's good for me. That's more Chainlink for me. But I think Chainlink explodes. All right, we'll go to the next. I think we went through all of them. No, we didn't do crypto. Okay, let's do crypto really quick. Look, Bitcoin's gonna explode pretty soon, especially after this CPI report. Let's take this volume off. After the CPI report, I mean, we're done with the halvening. and the halving's over with. Once you have the supply, it takes about 2 months before price explodes, okay? And we're above these trends, right? We're now trending and holding the trend for Bitcoin, the upper trend. So, and wait, what is it? Is this this is not mine. Okay, yeah, this is, let me go to the one that I put on. Let me move this out of the way really quick. This is in play. Let's go to crypto. All right, let's go to the one I have. Okay, there we go. So we're still on trend. Bitcoin is still on trend. All right. And when I say trend, let me see if I can make this clear. From this low, what was this, March 2020? No, this was October 2023. This was that bear market. We're still on trend. Okay, so that's good. Technicals are still in trend. Now we're in a flag pattern. Very bullish for Bitcoin. Very bullish flag pattern. If you can't see it, I'll draw it again with a thicker line. Okay, big flag pattern, consolidation. Right, that's good. That is positive, and I think it's going to be June. Remember, and the whole narrative here is the Fed is turning to QE. That's your biggest, that's the biggest injection of liquidity into the market, is that the Fed is flipping to QE. Flag or head and shoulders? No, it's not a head and shoulders. It's a flag. It's a flag pattern. It's coming from the lows too, so it's very strong, right? It's a flag. It's a bull flag, basically a bull flag. We're looking at a bull flag here, bull flag, and we probably have more consolidation. But remember, June 1st, in about 2 weeks, the Fed starts to reduce the QT, and that's a move towards QE. Net, it's going to inject liquidity into the market, and Bitcoin and crypto usually moves first. Now that the CPI is not showing stagflation, it's a relief for markets because now rates can fall. What do I mean by rates? Well, 10-year, US 10-year is now at a low level, hasn't been in for months because it was like, oh, okay, no stagflation, right? Also, consumer spending is cooling. That's good for markets. And that means rates go lower. Of course, you don't want to collapse in growth in consumers, but that's not going to happen because Joe Biden has no choice but to print. And Trump is going to come in and do the same thing. He's going to say, hey, look, tax breaks, they're all going to increase stimulus. It's almost better if we get a big slowdown because now there's going to be a promise for a reacceleration of growth from the fiscal authorities, right? That's the fiscal authorities. This will be in the course, by the way. Subscribe to the newsletter so you can get that course when it does come. Fiscal authorities will print money. Monetary authorities are starting to turn also. On a global scale too, Europe is about to cut rates. So Bitcoin is looking very flush for the breakout. I mean, I'm not a trader of Bitcoin in the short term. I more so want to trade the crypto cycle because it's too volatile. But let's move over to Ethereum. Ethereum even better. This is a very sharp dragon wedge. You could call this sort of a wedge. You could even, yeah, you could really call this a wedge, a little sharper. And Ethereum always looks different than Bitcoin. And when it breaks out, it breaks out. But we're almost at altcoin season. So look, crypto is flush. I keep saying it early because I know when it breaks, everyone's going to say, oh my gosh. But I'm trying to give you an opportunity. If you're not me, the market's giving you the opportunity, but I'm trying to tell you the opportunity is here. Wallet growth is accelerating. The Bitcoin ETF was the most successful ETF in stock market history, right? JP Morgan is exposed to it. Wells Fargo, they're only going to increase their exposure while the supply is coming down. We're going to explode. Do I use flags to enter a position? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course. Of course, I do flags to enter position. That'll be one thing. So what I'll do is, if I see this flag pattern, I see now crypto, I won't. Crypto, I just want to scoop up a really big downside move because it's more of a secular move. I want to get low prices. But if I'm trying to trade something, yes, I'll wait for the breakout on the flag and I'll wait for it to break the previous resistance, right? So it breaks out the flag. I want to see a break of the previous resistance, a pullback, and I want to get in right here at that pullback and support. If it drops, I'm out because it was a failed breakout. So break of the flag pattern, retest, hold, I'm in, right? You typically, just to answer your question really quick. So yeah, Ethereum looks good. Look, Solana on fire, right? I mean, Solana's on fire. This thing was down to $9 and it's already at 155. Nothing's going to outpace crypto. Crypto outpaces NASDAQ. I mean, NVIDIA has come close to it with its big move, but really nothing. And here we go with the wedge pattern for Chainlink. Just really quick cut to the chase. I see Chainlink hitting 100, right? 100 in this cycle. I think it can do more than that. It's at $13. My bet is it goes to 100. Okay. could exceed 100, but my bet is we go to 100, it would be that would be somewhere around an $80 billion market cap. I think it can get to 100 if it wants, especially with the fiscal policy, the implementation of CCIP into bigger blockchains. The revenues are picking up. Very bullish on Chainlink more than everything else, including Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's my take, though. That's my opinion, not financial advice. XRP, sorry, I don't think it gets anywhere. I like Aave. I like Aave. I like the graph. The graph looks really good. Very strong trend there for the graph. All right. What else we got? Why trade against trend? Trade against the trend. Not sure what you mean there. You mean on the pullback? This is crypto. Oh, okay. Barnes and Noble should be the new meme stock. Barnes and Noble. SLA ain't looking good. SL. Hey, if you're on TikTok, just throw in your ticker. I'm gonna go through tickers really quick. If it's a crappy trend, I'm just gonna say it. I don't want to, waste anybody's time. Throw in your tickers there, and I'll do some technical analysis on your tickers. Hey, look, inflation was cool. Now we're going much higher. What up, Carbides? Tesla will probably achieve FSD in China. It is in China's best interest to allow Tesla the opportunity to grow FSD tech in China. The Chinese will always seek for ways to copy American tech. That is true, right? That is true because you don't have people like Steve Jobs. Anybody know that I listened to what is his name? Walter Isaacson wrote about Tesla. That's a really good book about how he grew up. Listen to one on Steve Jobs and the difference between here and China. There anything is possible in America. You can fail and you can succeed. There's no, there's no limit to what you can do if you're crazy enough. These guys are crazy. And so you believe in Elon for that. He's going to make it happen unless he loses it. And when I say lose it, I don't mean his mind. I'm talking about, they come after him. But it's in everybody's interest that Elon wins because technology is what drives growth, right? And we need cheaper energy, cheaper driving, less deaths on the road, and it's a no go there. Did you see FFLE? Okay, there's your ticker. FFI FFIE. Okay. Oh, okay. Short squeeze. This just hey, liquidity's into the market now. Faraday Future Intelligence Electric. I didn't see that. Nice. I would never invest in this, but it looks like a short squeeze. Looks like you're getting a big short squeeze on a lot of these because liquidity is coming in. The shorts are covering. A lot of the shorts have to cover because there's more liquidity coming into the market. When I say liquidity, it means capital markets and financing. A lot of the reason these companies were already shorted because there wasn't enough liquidity to support investment. Now that the liquidity is back and the narrative is still here, they have to risk manage by covering. And people are buying call options and shares, hoping for Joe Biden to pump more money into electric vehicles. So Faraday Future Intelligent Electric, who knows? Electrification of the whole system is what you're looking at. My big play is still Cooler. I'm still waiting for Cooler to keep popping. I took a lot of profits, but here's my degenerate gambling play. But it's fundamental. It's not just a meme. This is not a meme. They're actually doing stuff with the US government, US Navy, NASA, electric vehicles. I mean, we'll see where it goes. But Cooler is my big bet. That's a very small cap. This thing is a very small cap, like 50 million, very small. So far it's done pretty well. What program are you using, by the way? This is just TradingView. This is just TradingView, Johnny. You're short. Should I short SMCI? I would not short anything in this market that has to do not short SMCI. Heck no. This thing just broke out. It just broke out. This is going to have some momentum. Do not short SMCI. We talked about this, I think, 2 days ago. It looked like it had some momentum. Boom, broke out. If anything, I mean, you get some support here. Let's see what the intraday looks like. Where's the support on SMCI? It doesn't really give you much support here. Maybe the 5-minute. See any support here? Here you go. Here's a level for SMCI. And if you're just not a trader, you don't want to gamble here. This is a very expensive stock. So if it pulls into 890 and holds, or 900, probably 900, which it should be straight. If it holds and you get the market moving higher, you get Nvidia going up. Wait till Nvidia earnings. But no, I would not short SMCI. Don't do that. What else we got here? Is that it? Is that all the tickers you guys want to see? Um, tickers. I think I went through most of the, let's go to big data. Let's see where we're at here. Palantir. Let's look at some of these data plays because liquidity is here. Palantir looks good. It's a sloppy chart, but I'm thinking about selling puts here. It's a bullish strategy. But I think Palantir looks really good. Obviously, your stop is going to be below 2050. You could even make it $20, but somewhere between 2050 and 20 is your stop for Palantir. Has a big narrative though. AI, it's pure AI, and very bullish on Palantir. DALL. Yes, let's look where Dell. Now I know Dell made new highs today, so let's take a look at where there's maybe some support for tomorrow. This will be a second day play, meaning it has a lot of volume, breaks out in the first day. Second day, either consolidates or breaks out. So for Dell, it looks like you have an area right here. What is this? 146. Yep, 146. So if you get some support on Dell, better risk reward if it comes down to 146, 145.50. Yeah, 145.50, 146. If it comes down to that, that'll be a good area to get long. But you don't want to chase it. It may never get down there. Next trade, right? Don't DR Horton, is that what that is? DHI. You want to keep a good risk reward. You don't want to chase things. It's a bad habit. Yeah, DR Horton. Is DR Horton a restaurant stock? Am I tripping here? I'm not I don't remember what they are. Uh DR Horton. Okay. Um what is the narrative here? I don't remember. I don't even know what DR Horton is. Is it restaurants? Starting to curl up. Oh, well, it got above that 50-day. Looks straight. Not the best price action, but it is starting to lift here. DR Horton. Let's see where the buying pressure is. Yeah, it looks like it has momentum. I mean, you can see the W pattern here. It's not like a perfect W pattern, but definitely it's broken out of that consolidation. And as long as DR Horton holds about 150, 154, call it 154, I bet you it hit resistance there. Watch. Let's look at that 5-minute. I bet you it's around 154 today. 154. Yep. Look, here's 154 right here. Hit it in the morning. And that's why I said on the bigger turn, this is a technical breakout on the daily chart. 154, 154, 154 holds. What does it hold? It holds 154, right? And that's based on the big chart. So that tells you, that's a level. So 154 would be good if it comes back and holds that again. DR Horton looks good. It's a restaurant trade. Okay. Yeah, restaurants are on fire. I mean, I don't know if restaurants continue to be on fire. I know a lot of you got to be selective. Because I know a lot of consumers are pulling back on some stuff. McDonald's is changing up their menu a little bit. But DR Horton might be good. I really don't know. I don't think it's the strongest narrative, but I could be wrong. I know Wingstop's on fire. You guys want to see a restaurant? Is this my in play? No, it's not. Wingstop has been on fire though. I mean, it's up tremendously. I think it has some bearish divergence. So look at this bearish divergence. But when it does pull back, I would look out for Wingstop and CMG. But I don't know. CMG is expensive. I think just go straight up. This is Chipotle. Wingstop and Chipotle. KB Homes, DR Horton. Would you say Brookfield Home Builders? KB. I mean, give me some tickers. Is this KB Homes? No, it's Financial Group. I don't know what their tickers are. I'm not that smart, Carbides. All right, let me see. What do you think about Dogecoin? Trash. Dogecoin is trash. Don't mess with it. What do you think about energy stocks overall? I think energy stocks kind of ran out of room because oil. So just take a look at oil. Oil is kind of slow here. I don't think energy does that great. It can probably still go higher, But right now, all the momentum is in utilities, XLI. Oh no, XLU. So whoever asked about energy, XLU is where the momentum is. And it still has some room to break out. We talked about this earlier. Look on YouTube if you want to see the where we talked about utilities. But your best right now, the utilities that I have is CEG. It's on fire. It's not a good buy right now because it's up a lot. It is trending, but you want to get a pullback on that. Data center revenue continues, electricity cost continues. Go look up XLU and then see their top holdings and then just check out the charts there. XLU is utilities. Um, Home builder. DR Horton's a home builder? Is it? Am I tripping here? I thought it was a restaurant. I don't know. Oh, DHI. Oh, no, no. Okay, okay. Okay, am I getting confused here? It's a home builder. Who said restaurant? Did somebody say restaurant? Got me confused. I might be tripping here. I might be thinking of something else. There's probably a ticker that's close to that. HPE. HPE. Who's HPE? Hewlett Packard. Okay. Is this just HP? Is this HP? Is this Hewlett Packard as in technology HP? Hewlett Packard? That's a weird chart though, huh? Why is it so stagnant? I don't know why Hewlett Packard looks like trash. This cannot be the right Hewlett Packard. This looks really weird because this is an old company. HPE. Is there an HP? Maybe there's a HP. No, I guess not. So HPE, hold on. HPE, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the narrative is. I wouldn't be interested in this for sure. I wouldn't personally. It looks like it's moving up. I mean, maybe you could sell options on it if you know how to sell options, but other than that, I mean, it doesn't look like it really moves much. Toast has been moving, I believe. Toast, I got to add that. Toast is starting to bottom out. Now, this looks good. Again, I don't know what the revenue looks like. I'd have to do research, but the chart looks like it is breaking out. It's holding higher, starting to get above that previous resistance. Next resistance for Toast is somewhere around 40. So it probably jumps to the 30s, 35-ish this summer, I'm guessing. Well, Joe Biden prints more money to get people to keep spending because he thinks inflation is tanking. He don't care about inflation. He cares that growth doesn't collapse. That's the bigger one, right? Unemployment. That's a much bigger problem to have than sticky inflation. So he'll keep doing it. HP's coattails down, cheaper, has moved pretty well alongside. Okay, I didn't know that. Chainlink sentiment is at all-time low on X, or it was until CPI. Yeah, Chainlink's sentiment is very low. Bullish sign, I guess. I mean, I don't know. A lot of people are pissed off. Doesn't change the thesis though. Data centers gave them the gap up. What's your thoughts on Chainlink? Still bullish as ever? Of course, still bullish as ever. I'm all in on Chainlink, Bukowski. I'm still bullish on. I mean, the whole crypto cycle is starting to reaccelerate. So I'm gonna stay bullish crypto no matter what. And I just happen to pick Chainlink as being the biggest narrative. It worked out good last October. Then it just fell out of bed, right? And then it just collapsed. But everything fell. Everything pretty much fell. It just came down to why isn't Chainlink moving? You know, why did it fall so much? I think it's just giving a better opportunity. It just depends on your perspective, how you look at it, right? Some people who never got the chance to enter it, now they have a chance. Now they have an opportunity. This is not Chain. This is not Link. But if you already in it, you're kind of pissed off. Now, the way I look at it is we just don't know. But I'm gonna stick with the narrative. It does look like crap. It looks like crap, right? Looks like crap. But I'm gonna stick with the narrative. I think it's doing good. Still holding anchored VWAP from the low down here. This was a $5 low. We called this out way back then. So it's still up a lot. I mean, G-Link, still a lot of institutional demand for it. I'm not bearish on it. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I still think it's I'm very bullish on Chainlink. Nothing has changed here. Haven't really talked about it. There's a lot of new things coming out. They're not really new, but I don't know. I don't have an explanation for that. I'm just very bullish on the thesis here. DR Horton is a home builder. Okay. Spec houses mostly. AMC, GME, BB. Is it BB is the other one? BB? Is this Bed Bath and Beyond? Oh, Blackberry. I don't know. You look at the short interest on it. You'll see which one's going to pop the most. Doesn't look like it's moving much. What crypto would you start dumping money into if you're starting out? If I was starting out, first of all, you can't go wrong. This is not financial advice, obviously. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink. Those are the three. That quick. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink. Bitcoin, digital gold, Ethereum is basically like the Web3 builder for everything. I mean, Cardano, all these other Web3 are not Web3, all these layer ones for, I mean, Bitcoin is nothing like them. All these layer ones, they're competing against Ethereum. They're not going to win. Ethereum has way more developers. And I know that offends some people, but it's a monopoly. So Chainlink, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and then Chainlink, very wide use case. And a lot of people don't realize that the big crypto bull market in 2020 that started, it started to accelerate once Chainlink was able to connect these blockchains together. So it kind of needs Chainlink. You're just not seeing it. BB may get bought out by AMD. Wait, BlackBerry? What, bro? Come on, Josh. BlackBerry bought out by AMD. BlackBerry, this is telecommunication BlackBerry? I mean, I guess if AMD is trying to create their own create their own phone, I really doubt that. I highly doubt that. It sounds like people trying to pump the price. There's a lot of trash out there. There's no way. What do I think about KOS? Not sure. Not sure what that is. KOS. Sorry. KOSSS. Cost Corp. I don't have a view on it. Look, a lot of these are gonna pump. Do not chase it. Do not chase them. I am not advocating for any of these things. I'm not advocating for at all. They're gonna happen. It's a good sign that the retail investor is back, but you're gonna get burned more than likely. You're more than likely gonna get burned. So use very little size. There's a lot of rumors. You Googled it or Google it. There's a lot of rumors. To me, my instincts tell me it's a bunch of bull crap. That's what my instincts tell me. I've seen a lot of bull crap out there. People make rumors up all the time, and then they're never held accountable for the rumors. It's all over Twitter, right? But might get bought out by AMD. That's just, I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe it could be true. The question is, what is the probability it's true, right? You predicted today's rally. Thank you. Somebody gave me my kudos. Thank you. No, I'm just kidding. Well, it's pretty, to me, it's pretty simple. I watch the macro data. I'm looking at every macro data point all the time and how the market reacts, but it's boring to most people. So I was like, hey, for the first time, inflation is due to come down. So if it comes in line, we're going to be bullish and we're already close to all-time highs. So we should be at all-time highs. And oops, I don't know what that is. And so we're back at all-time highs. Right? This is a very strong market here. Simple moving average. What can we look at here? No, I think that's it. Yeah, I'm going to give my breakdown on S&P where it goes next. I am bullish on Tesla, long Chainlink. I'm looking at AMD. That's probably the AMD, Robinhood are the two I'd probably sell some puts on, which is a long strategy, but not trying to give that strategy out. Look, I think the S&P is a little overextended in the short term. So what I'm doing is I sold the 520. No, I sold the 530, 523 puts. And then I'm doing Iron Condor 533 puts. So I'm betting it doesn't close here tomorrow. And then I sold the calls at what, 533 calls. So my guess is based on the 30-minute RSI, we're a little overdone here. I think we'll pull back and I'll get out of my contracts because I win when theta declines, right? I'm bullish. I'm very risky with Tesla and crypto, but when it comes to the S&P, I'm just gonna burn theta on it. There you go. Bullish on AMD, Hood, and Tesla. Me too. Same thing. Carbides. Things like Josh is bullish on BB. Josh, you, you trying to get that BB? Josh is trying to get the BB. Okay. Uh, dang. Okay. Let's see. What do we got here? Can you look at Ether chart? Ether's chart. You talking about Ethereum? They want to make their own phone. Oh, okay. So KOSS. Look, if you're competing against iPhones, I really doubt. Like it takes so much capital. I just really doubt it's gonna last. Now maybe the stock might pop for a little bit, but I really doubt it lasts. Thank you, the co-op, the COF. All right. So Ethereum market cap. Ethereum's getting ready to blow up. I'll just tell you that. I think that it's going to be a summertime crypto rally. We have the perfect conditions, which is Fed liquidity coming in, rates are down, dollars down. That is your, crypto is macro, dollars down, and and um and growth slowing. Here's one thing that people don't understand. Economic growth slowing down is bullish for markets right now. It's bullish for tech essentially, right? It's very bullish because if the market, if the, I'm sorry, if the economy cools a little bit, rates come down, real time rates, not the Fed rates, real time rates. Why? Because they're trying to basically price in that the Fed is going to be more dovish, that the Fed is going to bring cuts forward. Okay. And if we do have commercial real estate breaking somewhere, the Fed is going to inject liquidity. So actually, a slower economy, not a collapse, a slower economy is actually bullish here. Keep that in mind. That condition can change. Just got Webull gave me 75 free fractional shares. What do you do? I'm not going to give you financial advice because that's stupid for me to do that. But what should you do? I think you should do some research. What are the themes you want to look into? Infrared, I think that's your name. Look at the themes right now. You have semiconductors, you have chips, you have utilities, you have electric vehicles, you have crypto blockchains. Blockchain, I don't think you can buy blockchain on there. But do some research. There's some real themes in the market where the Fed is going to increase money supply and they're going to give it to the government. That's what they do. They buy US Treasury so the government can spend what they're going to spend on technology. Why? So they can grow GDP. So whatever companies are going to absorb the GDP that's coming in from government spending and initiatives, that's who you want to own. Any news about T-Mobile and Verizon are buying out a new telecom system? Nah, I don't know about that. That's a lot of news. New antennas. Okay, no, I don't know about that. I'm not interested in them. Starlink is probably going to smash all them. You have to go take good care. Hey, good luck, Johnny. Make sure you guys do research. Most important thing is do your research and learn. Your education is key because you could be all in on the wrong thing. So your education is actually the most important thing, and learning with the market. Okay. I'm going to keep you updated on the macro, technicals, and sometimes fundamentals. Fundamentals look good right now when it comes to the overall S&P. Nvidia calls for 1,000, waiting for CGC to come down. Dang, you're waiting for CGC? No way. CGC. I don't know if those I can't say that word on TikTok. Those, you know what I'm talking about, CGC stocks. I don't know if these ever really come up. I guess they're pretty bullish lately. Any thoughts on BYND US if formed a triple bottom? BYND, is this beyond me? Other than the fact that it's unhealthy. Ooh, that is a nice triple bottom there on BYND. Look at the short interest. It might pop. I mean, it's a very clear. That is a triple bottom. You're right. The question is, are you want to trade this or own it? Should you own it? H to the double hockey stick, no. But if you want to trade it, then you wait for the trend to break with volume. Okay, you want to wait for it. Let's throw the anchored view up on there from that first low. Nope, got right below it. How about the second low? Nope. So no, how about this third low? This tells me it's just going to stay sideways. It could be here forever. So triple bottom. Here's the problem with this chart, bro. Whatever your name is, BYND, the coughs, the scoff. You own it? Okay. I hate to tell you, I would not want to own this. Okay. There's a lot of reasons why I would get out, me personally. Not advice, but I would never own this. Not anytime soon. There's much better opportunity. It's not a secular trend. It is just not a secular trend. There's probably some other new stuff coming in. I don't know. But yeah, you don't want to own this. Um, More than anything, it's in a downtrend, so this triple bottom's irrelevant, right? It needs to break the downtrend before there's any type of momentum, and it doesn't look like that's going to happen anytime soon. My guess is that it's a better short and it keeps going lower. But no, definitely not BYND. Yeah, no problem. I just don't want you to. Ugh, I hate. Ugh, I want to say even more roots. I want to say I'll let my personality really come out because that's a trash stock, and it's not personal, nothing personal. Just don't want to see you lose money, bro. You're better off in doing the blockchain technology, semiconductors. Robinhood looks really good. User growth is coming up. I know a lot of people don't like it. AMD is going to continue as a semiconductor. Nvidia, Tesla. A lot of people don't like Tesla. Just buy some S&P 500. You'd be better off. But I really like crypto. What about GTE? What is GTE? GTE. Um, Grand Tierra Energy. I don't know what this is. I really have no clue what this is. Uh, no clue what it is. Some type of energy stock. I would stick with utilities or, I mean, it really depends your situation. Do you already own it? Do you know something? Are the fundamentals on a technical basis? No, this is not going to make you. We invest to make the most money. That's why we invest. And I know it's like, oh, well, we don't want to get too risky. Sure, but we still invest to make the most money. And so you just want to say, what are the best probabilities? Now, this looks bullish. Don't get me wrong. This thing does look bullish. I just don't know what they do. I don't know if they have an edge in the market. I don't know if they have a moat. So I don't know. As a trade, nah, there's better opportunities out there as a trade. Um, GTE. But again, I don't know much about it, so I can't say too much. AMD, I'm telling you right now, AMD looks fire. AMD is fire right now. Technically, it has the theme, it has the technicals, it has the momentum. The market is turning up. I wouldn't doubt AMD by July hits 200 or even further by July. Okay, I really wouldn't doubt it goes there. Um, I hate people seeing people lose money. GEPI for SPY. Just buy some crypto. Just buy some Bitcoin. It's going higher. Not financial advice. What do you think about Zim? I have been owning it since 54. Then it went up. I did not sell. Now 19. That hurts. It's called owning a bag. We've all done it. You bought it during the hype. You bought Zim during the hype. Integrated shipping services. I don't know what your thesis was, but as soon as this trend broke, you should have been out. As soon as this trend broke, you should have been out of this. But again, I don't know what the thesis is. That's the thing about fundamental analysis is it's kind of hard to know. I am building a course for you guys to understand fundamental analysis. I haven't started. I started it, but I'm mostly on the macro. Right now is macro. I'm hoping it's done by October. I know I keep pushing it out, but I'm making sure that anybody can get it, making sure it's simple. It's going to be good. But yeah, once it gapped down and just broke this trend, it was game over. Gap down, broke the trend, it was game over. So integrated shipping services, always compare these companies with their competition. Compare the competition, make sure you do your research to see, okay, are they competing? Do they have an edge? Where's revenue growth? What does the damn chart look like? Okay. But nah, bro, I would just take your losses. It's moved up a lot. I think this is what you're talking about, Zim. I would just get my losses and move on, to be honest. I would just take my losses and move on. FFII. I think somebody already said that. FFI. You guys are chasing these penny stocks. This is how you get burned. This is a short squeeze, and don't bet it's going to do a GME. You need relative volume to go up. If you're going to even think about this, wait for it to fill the gap and get that support at the gap. Okay. If you guys are going to do this risky crap, which is going to probably make you lose money more than anything, wait for it to fill the gap. Okay. And then move higher. If it can't fill this gap, it's going to get crushed. Okay, so wait for the gap to get filled to see if anybody's in there. And when it does fill the gap, you look at the relative volume, RVol, to make sure that there's volume picking up as it bounces. If not, do not chase it. Don't try to get lucky. You're wasting your time and you're going to destroy your capital and you're going to create very bad habits. Don't do it. Happy Cat, I did your research for now. Bye now. This is okay. We got what do you call those undercover corpo? We have a not a bot. Those guys are funny though. I can't remember. I don't know what to call you, bro. Most people ditch Zim when they cut dividend. Oh, they cut dividends. That's what happened. They cut their dividend. So that the cutting of the dividend. No, I know you're not a bot, bro. I didn't mean to call you a bot. I meant to call you a ah what is the word when you be messing with people? I can't think of it right now. Sorry, my mind is not making jokes because I gotta watch what I say on TikTok. I'll get kicked off. Um, you're a funny guy. I'll put it that much. Oh, do you guys jump on people's? Oh, you guys jump on people's a troll. Yeah, yeah, that's what I was gonna call you, a troll. You guys jump on people's lives and then try to get some attention on there. Is that what it is? I just don't see anything valuable. All right. Um, I'm looking at small companies that are undervalued and came across MPTI. It's a military and aerospace company with a solid debt to free cash flow. Okay. MPTI. Let's see what that looks like. MPTI. Oops. See what the chart looks like. Interesting. I mean, obviously, you're going to have to do the research. The chart's not going to tell you much. I wonder what the market cap is on this. Looks like it's recovering a little bit. Just had earnings. Very undervalued. Okay. A troll. Yeah, a troll. That's what I was looking for. Have a bad day today. I mean, not me. Say I had a pretty good day today. Best of luck to you. Happy going to be parabolic. You heard it here first. Oh, you're just trying to pump the stock or get people to buy happy. Let's see what happy is. I don't even know what happy is, bro. HAPPI. What is this? Is this a crypto? Oh, this is some crypto, isn't it? No, I don't know what it is. I don't know if this is your chart, but I mean, yeah, I don't know about that. Oh, it's some type of meme stock. It probably does boom. If it's a meme, it'll probably boom. But it's still the probability of somebody timing it correctly is very low, and they're going to lose money more than likely. You should know that. PDD. This is Chinese. This is a Chinese company right here. I don't mess with Chinese companies. Although Pinduoduo, if that's who I think it is, I used to trade them back in the day. Pinduoduo is like the Netflix, I believe. Is it kind of like the Netflix? I don't remember. By the way, Netflix is doing some really good stuff. I'm starting to like Netflix long term. They're doing a lot of long. They're going to be having NFL games. Tom Brady. They had the Tom Brady roast, which was nice. They finally broke wokeness. But yeah, PDD, just in general, I don't like Chinese. I don't like these companies. I wouldn't mess with them. You just never know what can happen. Um, Looks good though. I mean, it looks like it's trending higher. I wouldn't want to own any of this. I would probably trade it. I can see a small little consolidation. If it breaks above 142, probably goes higher. Very tight range. 142 goes higher. All right, Josh, catch you later. Um, Disney. I'm not a fan of Disney. I know a lot of people own Disney. I am not a fan of Disney. I think they're going to get wrecked on their real estate. And I don't really, to be honest with you, I don't want to talk like I know what's going on with Disney. I just have never really liked it. I just always thought Disney, because look, you have a lot of people coming into this space, and Disney has a lot of intellectual property, and they're a little too woke. I think they're losing their narrative. And do they make money? Yes, but do investors really want to own Disney? I'm not so sure. I'm really not so sure. I think things are changing a lot. And I'm just not a fan of Disney. I'm not a fan of Disney personally. Maybe you can find a reason to own it. Not me. It can move higher, but there's better opportunities out there than Disney, that's for sure. Um, some inside Nvidia. What do you think about Nvidia? I mean, yes, Nvidia. I'll tell you this, NVDA, can't even think of it. NVIDIA looks great. We just played out NVIDIA. NVIDIA breaks out, it's going to go higher, but I like AMD better. If you want to play you want to play an AI slash semiconductor chips company, I think AMD has a better risk reward right now. All right. All right. So we're hour 20 in. We're in deep. I think that's it. I got to go too. Um, Hey, subscribe to the newsletter, like the live if you appreciate it. Let me leave you with this. Let's go over S&P really quick. Let's go to S&P really quick. We have Thursday, Friday. We have a couple days here. Let's actually throw on our let's actually throw up some data. What do we got coming in? Let's finish off with this. I need to eat something. All right. So we have we had core inflation today. Okay, pretty good numbers. We said, hey, we'd go to all-time highs if we hit it. Retail sales slowing. That's good. Rates come down. Um, Tomorrow we have building permits. Nothing great tomorrow. Tomorrow is irrelevant. It's all going to be technicals on the S&P because none of this data really matters. Nobody cares. We're waiting for the Fed to cut rates to get growth to come back. So the only great thing here, industrial production. I want to see what that looks like. Is it dumping? This is probably the only data point that's going to be important. Industrial production is basically GDP is everything produced in the economy, right? All the production of goods and services. Industrial production are the biggest part of GDP when it comes to producing. It's the biggest part of GDP, like when it comes to the hard things, right? So that's going to be important to give us some clues on where GDP is headed. Industrial production year over year, not month over month. I want to see the year over year. And right now, I think we're trying to bottom out here on the long trend. So this is probably a good data point. I don't know if the market cares too much because that inflation print was so much more important. Nothing on Friday. It's all technicals in the next couple of days. No real macro. Not till Sunday. I don't know if market's not open on Sunday. Not till next week. But when next week gets here, we'll talk about next week FOMC minutes. That's going to be huge next Wednesday. So Wednesday is the next decisive blow, right? Which is FOMC minutes. What is the Fed thinking? What are they going to do? And I'll be live for that and NVIDIA earnings. Actually, I'll be live for both of that. So say subscribe, hit the notification, stay tuned. Um, wish you guys the best of luck. Eat healthy. Okay. What do you think about NVIDIA? Yeah. Eat healthy, stay blessed, lift weights, improve every day, learn something new. I appreciate you guys coming on here as always. Stay blessed and we'll catch you later. All right. Good luck.